They say relationships about love. I say they're about leverage. Welcome to Sugar Daddy's podcast. This isn't about tricking. This isn't about chasing. This is about power, presence, and provision. I'm Big Daddy, media executive, business builder, and your favorite daddy with the blueprint. If you want honesty about money, women, loyalty, and legacy, you're in the right place. This is Sugar Daddy's podcast. What's happening, family? Welcome to Sugar Daddies. That's Sugar Daddies with a Z. I'm your host, your boy, Big Daddy. Tonight, we're talking about something nobody wants to admit. Love is dying in America. Yep, and before you get mad at me, look at the numbers. Look at what they're seeing. Look at what's happening right in front of us. Gen Z men are having less sex than any generation before them. Young women are delaying marriage. They're delaying children. They're delaying commitment. Many are saying they don't even want marriage at all. They don't want to be tied down. They don't want labels. They don't want responsibilities. They don't want anything. They want to have fun. They want experiences, though. That's what they want. They want freedom. They want fun. Meanwhile, men are checking out. Young men are spending more time playing video games than dating. More time online and outside. More time watching content than creating relationships. And many have simply decided the juice isn't worth the squeeze. And then when they do date, they're terrified. They're terrified of rejection. They're terrified of divorce. They're terrified of losing half of everything they've worked hard for. They're terrified of making the wrong choice. And you know what? Speaking of divorce, almost half of marriages still end in divorce. They do. The ones that stay together, they're not necessarily happy. How many married couples do you all know they're just merely just surviving, right? They sleep in separate bedrooms. They live in separate lives. They got separate bank accounts. They stay together for the kids or because leaving probably too expensive, not because they're in love. Y'all know that. Then you add social media. Now, everybody thinks they deserve a celebrity. Every woman thinks she deserves a millionaire. Every man thinks he deserves an Instagram model. Nobody wants the person next door. Remember that? Remember the girl next door? Everybody wants a fantasy now. And here's the biggest problem. Social media has convinced everybody they got options. Thousands of followers, hundreds of likes, dozens of DMs. But attention isn't love. Validation isn't commitment. And lust isn't loyalty. We've become addicted to possibilities, so much so that we don't appreciate what's in front of us. We don't appreciate it till it's gone. Nobody wants to build anymore. Everybody wants finished products. Women want a man already made. That's crazy. Men want a woman already healed. I talk to the young ones, young YNs, young chicks, young females, whatever you call it. They believe the same thing. They're like, we don't date our own age because, they think they want somebody already, they healed, but they be doing dirty and we ain't healed yet. You talk to the young guys, they're like, hey, all the females, they want somebody already together. They want somebody already put together. We just getting out of college. We mid-20s or whatever the case may be. We ain't got it together yet. And so what I realize is nobody wants the process. There's no perfect process. Everybody wants perfection. But there is no perfection in the process. Then you got the economy. Let's keep it real. Dating is expensive. Marriage is expensive. Children is expensive. Rent is expensive. Groceries is expensive. Hell, gas is expensive. Everything is expensive. People can barely afford themselves. Now we're asking them to afford a spouse and children too? Then we wonder why birth rates are dropping like crazy? Come on. Look at the stats. What's happening in America? People aren't saying no to children. They're saying no to being broke. And here's the question I want to ask tonight. Is love actually dying? Or have relationships simply become too much work for people to have become just too selfish? Have we become so focused on ourselves that we no longer know what sacrifice is anymore? Because every successful relationship requires sacrifice. Every marriage, every family, every sacrifice. Listen, why is it that sacrifice has become such a dirty word? Why? Everything requires sacrifice. Everything. You get a job, you're going to have to sacrifice some things on the job. Do some things you might not want to do. Sacrifice. Every healthy and successful relationship, sacrifice. Guarantee it. Sacrifice. They know what it means. Yeah. You know what? We're going there tonight. Love. That's what we're talking about. And listen, that's a good time to pause right there. Subscribe. Hit that button. Follow us. Like us. Share. You know what it is. I sure appreciate y'all so much. Listen, I want to go there tonight. No filters. No politics. No gender wars. Just real conversation. Phone lines are open. Hit us up. I want to hear from you for real. I want to hear from the women. I want to hear from the men. Listen, answer the question, is love dying? Is it? Is marriage still worth it? Are children still part of the dream? Or has America become a nation of people choosing independence over intimacy? Come on, y'all. Let's talk about it. I want to ask you a question. Would you rather be single and free or married and secure? Let's start right here. Everybody talks about wanting love. Everybody. Everybody talks about wanting marriage. At least they used to. Everybody talks about wanting a family. But if I gave you a choice right now, you could be single and free or married and secure. Which one are you choosing? See, 20 years ago, this wasn't even a debate. Most people wanted marriage. Most people wanted a family. Most people believed that having somebody to build with was one of life's greatest accomplishments. Today, not so much. Today, people value freedom over stability. They value freedom over to travel. They value freedom to date. They value freedom to do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. No accountability, no compromise, no checking in, no responsibilities. No wonder the damn divorce is so high. But here's what nobody talks about. Freedom can get lonely. I mean, really lonely. For real. Because eventually the trip ends. The party's end. The likes stop coming. The attention fades. And at some point, everybody wants somebody. Not somebody to text. Not somebody to entertain them. For real. You know, they want somebody to actually hold them, who knows them. So I'm asking you tonight, would you rather have freedom or would you rather have somebody who's truly in your corner? Because life gets real. And when life gets real, the value of having someone beside you changes everything. Come on, y'all. Phone lines open. You know we're talking. Would you marry today if you knew that there was a 50% chance of divorce? Let's be honest. If I told you there was a 50% chance your plane would crash, would you get on it? Probably not. I wouldn't. So why are people expected to jump into a marriage when they see divorce all around them? They've watched their parents divorce, their grandparents divorce, their friends divorce, their coworkers divorce. Half of the people giving relationship advice couldn't keep their own marriage together. And that's what scares people. Not marriage itself, failure. People are afraid of investing years into something that may not work. They're afraid of giving their heart away. They're afraid of losing assets. They're afraid of custody battles. They're afraid of starting over. So look, let's start the conversation here. Would you still get married if you knew there was a coin flip chance it wouldn't last. And if your answer is no, then what does that say about how we view commitment today? Come on. I mean, let me ask you, are modern women waiting longer because they're smarter or because they're afraid? Ladies, come on, let's talk, ladies. Women today are accomplishing amazing things. I mean, degrees, businesses, careers, they bosses, you understand? Home ownership. They got their own, they're independent, financially independent. Things previous generations fought to achieve, the women are doing it now. And that's something to celebrate for real. We can clap that up. But here's the question. Are women waiting longer to marry because they're making smarter decisions? Or are some women just waiting because they're afraid? They're afraid of making the wrong choice too. Afraid of losing their independence. Afraid of repeating what they've seen happen to other women. They're afraid of settling. They're afraid of being vulnerable. You hear it all the time because there is a difference between standards and walls. Standards protect you. Walls isolate you. And sometimes we confuse the two. I want to hear from the ladies tonight. What's the real reason women are waiting? Is it empowerment or is it fear? I wonder. Are men avoiding marriage to protect themselves? Come on, brothers. Come on, brothers. Come a little closer. This conversation right here now, this is for us. A lot of men are saying they don't want love. They're saying they don't trust the system. They see men losing houses. They see men losing businesses, losing retirement accounts, losing access to their children. They start asking themselves, why would I sign up for that risk? Now, before anybody gets upset, not every divorce ends badly, right? But not every man gets destroyed. Not every woman is out here taking advantage of somebody. Perception matters. And many men perceive marriage as a dangerous financial decision. They do. Many men perceive marriage as a dangerous financial decision. So here's the question. Have men become commitment phobic? If that's even a word. Have they? I don't know. Have they become cautious? I believe there's a big difference, of course. I don't know. One is fear. The other is self-preservation. Let's talk about it, fellas. I want to know. Is it fear? What is it? I talk to a lot of young people. I talk to this generation. We talk about them having children. And they're like, it's too expensive. Has it become a luxury thing now to have children? For real. Let's talk money. Because love is emotional. Children are emotional. But raising children, that's financial. Everything costs more. And young people are looking around saying, I can barely afford myself. How am I supposed to afford children? How am I going to afford children? I can barely afford anything. Hell, half of them are still staying with their parents. So now people are waiting. Some are having one child. They don't believe in having more. Multiple. Some are having none. Some are saying they'll decide later, but later keeps getting later. And eventually, later becomes never. So let me ask you, have people stopped wanting children, or have children become financially out of reach for average Americans? Because that's completely a completely different conversation. It is. Children are expensive. And what gets me is this. The children that do have children, because that's what happens, The ones that are having children, our children having children, and the older generations end up taking care of their children, helping with those children. But what happens? Those relationships still are, they're not working out. They're not staying together. They're trying to limit all kinds of responsibilities. Whether somebody else raises them, somebody else takes care of them. As long as someone gives them a helping hand or a hand out, because that's what it becomes, it's challenging. Now, we can't blame them. It's expensive. It's crazy expensive. Look at the economy we're in today. Everything is expensive. It comes with a cost. It does. It's insane. And I don't know what's worse. I don't know if being lonely is worse or being trapped is even worse than that. Yep. This one here is going to make a whole lot of people uncomfortable. Let me see. What's worse? Being lonely or being trapped in the wrong relationship? Whew. Think about it. Some people go home every night alone and hate it. Others go home every night to somebody they don't even like anymore. You ever been there? And they hate it. One person is missing companionship. The other person is missing peace. One is lonely. The other feels imprisoned, feeling like they can't get out of it, can't go nowhere. Which is worse? And before you answer, remember this. Some people stay in bad relationships because they're afraid of loneliness. And some people stay single because they're afraid of being trapped. Both are living in fear. Both are missing something. So where's the balance? You wonder if that's the same case that women that stay in abusive relationships. Oh, y'all hear me talk about it all the time. My own mom. I witnessed it growing up firsthand. What is it? Now it got me thinking. Is it fear? What is it? What is it? Was she trapped? Not really. I didn't think so. But she stayed like 17 years, so maybe. I don't know. But it's tough. Fear. No matter what, both are missing something. So where's the balance? Do people want commitment or convenience? That's heavy. This might be the biggest question of the night. Do people really want commitment anymore? Or do they really want convenience? Think about it. People want somebody to talk to, but they don't want accountability. People want companionship, but they don't want sacrifice. People want loyalty, but don't want limitations. People want relationship benefits without relationship responsibilities. And that's where everything starts breaking down. Because commitment isn't convenient. Commitment requires effort. Commitment requires patience. Commitment requires putting somebody else's needs ahead of your own sometimes. And listen, this ain't to beat anybody up. We all fail at it. Hell, if I would have had some of these principles, at least remember some of this stuff when I was married, I'd probably still be married. Y'all heard me say it. Come on. It requires a lot. Commitment. And listen, and in a culture obsessed with self, like we're in right now, commitment starts feeling like a burden. So maybe the problem isn't that people don't want love. Maybe people want love without responsibility. And that's not how this works. It's just sad. Listen, we're talking about love tonight. We talked about a number of things. And then before we wrap this thing up tonight, don't forget, follow us on all platforms at Sugar Daddies Podcast. That's with a Z. Sugar Daddies with a Z on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, at Sugar Daddies Podcast. Follow us, follow us, follow us. Click that subscribe button. Come on. Tell somebody to tell somebody. I love y'all. Now let's get back to it. We're talking love. Tonight was a little different. Those that y'all follow me, that y'all know we talk about everything here. And listen, when we first started this podcast, we talked about keeping it real, having real conversations, real connections. Tonight, we were doing all this research and studying, and we're just finding out that, man, this love thing may not exist anymore. I mean, what's happening in America? No commitment, no nothing. So tonight, instead of talking about some of the other sugar daddy kind of stuff and the normal stuff that we normally talk about, tonight was about love for real. We talked about marriage, children, commitment, fear, freedom, loneliness. Come on. If there's one thing I've learned, one thing is this. Most people still want love. They do. Despite what they say. Despite the memes. Despite the social media posts. Despite the bravado. Most people still want somebody. Somebody who understands them. Somebody who chooses them. Somebody who stays. Because at the end of the day, success is great, money is great, cars are great, trips are great, houses are great, but none of those things hold your hand in the hospital. None of those things sit beside you when life falls apart. None of those things celebrate your victories with just genuine happiness. People do. Relationships do. Love does. The question isn't whether love is dead. The question is whether we're willing to do what love requires. Because love costs something. It always has. It always has. Look, it costs pride. It costs ego. It costs vulnerability. It costs patience. It costs sacrifice. But for the right person, it's worth every penny, every dollar. You got to look at it as an investment. Are you protecting your peace? Or are you protecting your fear? Because sometimes those two things look exactly the same. Listen, this has been a fun one tonight, y'all. I'm Big Daddy, as you know it. Follow me on all platforms. This is Sugar Daddies with a Z. And listen, remember this. The sweetest thing in life isn't sugar. It's having somebody who still chooses you when they don't have to. This has been a good one, y'all. Follow me on all platforms. This has been real. I love y'all. This is Sugar Daddies with a Z. I'm out.